In this video, we will be breaking down the Reyna Lurk's B map, known as Haven, by looking at pro play. By the end of this video, you'll understand meta ways to play, so take out some paper and get ready to take some notes. So the biggest thing I like to prioritize when I explain Haven to people, is the importance of a lobby control. So if you watch pro play, you will see this area right here gets a massive investment in Util almost every round. There's always something to deny info, there's always something there. You always see like a smoke here, or Jet throws like a smoke here, or the defenders throw silver darts here. So a really easy strat to start implementing. At the start of every round, once these barriers drop, you just peek in A lobby and you just hold it like this. This is so ideal because every time you hold this contact, you jiggle here, see if someone's here, or you silver dart it, what you're doing is claiming A lobby. You're claiming this space, and it's so important because they can't be short. If someone's holding this area, they can't be short, and it also opens up a really nice flank opportunity. So if they can't be short, and if they're not here, and then they make noise in any of these other three areas that they can walk on, it's really OP, because then you could push up as a defender, and you could come behind them, when you typically couldn't. It allows for a lot more opportunities. It gets rid of 2 lanes, essentially. So now that instead of Haven being a 5-map lane, or a 5-lane map, it becomes a 3-lane map.
Looks like they're going to try to keep a fight at long.
It's also really good. That's fast contact. Sheesh. Fastest B take of the century. So this is another really common thing you'll see, is players go for this B plant, and then they immediately go for post plant. And then it's nice because here they have the KJ holding both these lurks that I kind of mentioned were possible for to happen here. When the defenders don't see anything at the start of the round, they tend to go for flanks a lot more often, and they try to go behind. So by having the Killjoy alarm bot here, it makes this player unable to push his area without breaking it. Same thing with this turret. This turret they place right here. It watches both these sides. So anyone tries to flank, they're going to get spotted. It also watches garage as well. That's really cool. So here's the setup. Killjoy turret watches here, both the flanks, and it also watches a lobby a little bit deeper. It's because a lot of times people play window, and it seems like with this, they can actually timing through and get through the window if this alarm bot wasn't here. But yeah, a lot of people like to play back on B, so when everyone's playing back, this Killjoy turret will watch garage, and it will also watch all the flanks. So it's really, really nice. So it's really common for teams just to full-on rush onto B, and then immediately play post plant. Post plant on B actually isn't as bad as most people think. It's good to have some sort of utility to spam this, but if you plant this, if you're planting the bomb and you look towards the corner, this circle is extremely small. It's literally here to here. It's impossible not to kill someone defusing. It really is. As long as you can comfortably spam and you have 1 or 2 people, that coverage is so small. But look, if instead of planting and looking in this corner, you look away, I want you to look at where the circle goes. Look how much wider that becomes. Now and then instead of being able to spam like this, you gotta spam all the way like this. That little extra coverage is like insane less probability to get any kill. It's really important when you do this B post plant, you do it in a corner, and you make that circle as small as possible.
We'll see the retakes, EG being very good in these positions.
You don't see that one very often anymore, Vansili. The in and out, quick B plan under the guise of smoke. Now quick defuse to come in. Looking for half and then maybe more, but they don't even get half.
Through the smoke with the frenzy, jogging with that leg flank.
There's half.
Also under attack towards that B main. We got a fight inside.
Oh, and he just sticks. Oh, oh my gosh. So close. So close. Only other thing that I'd like to emphasize when you play Haven is you stack up all your utility with the team. Haven is a really strong map for team play, especially on retakes. Especially on retakes as defenders, you need to be coordinating stuff all together as a team. This is obviously pro play, so it's going to be coordinated regardless, but it's really important to have something that initiates like a push. Let's go back and let's just see. I'm looking at these players A link here. So you'll see they'll group up. Breach just ready to throw a stun.
We'll see the retakes, EG being very good in these positions.
So it seems like the smoke coordinated it.
See that one very often anymore, man.
Looks like the Omen smoke coordinated it. So Omen smoke goes in first, and then everything follows. It's really good to have one single piece of utility. Me personally, I don't have a preference, but I usually try to do it off like, I usually try to put like the thing I want to get the most value second. So for me, this is usually like the silver dart here. like a Sova dart here. So like you throw a smoke and then you throw a blind or something and then you throw the dart. Usually like some sort of intel ability is really good to get a lot of intel, or really good to get value out of. So like investing a flash and a smoke first to like block angles and then like draw attention is really strong. If you can get this dart to get a bunch of value, it's insane. It's literally insane. No one knows what has happened, but a unique thing about Haven is these orbs. These orbs are actually favored for, one's for the defenders, one's for the attackers. This one's for the attackers, this one's for the defenders. So on eco round, they're fighting for this orb because this is just like a really strong boost to their economy. Or this is just a nice boost to their economy. So here the Sova actually farm this orb and then they farm this orb. This is something really common and really smart to do, especially on rounds like eco where the odds of you winning a round already are pretty low and you kind of just want to build up the next rounds. So this is another reason like you'll see a lot of players fight for this. Like if I Sova dart here at the start of every round and I just check, okay, scan, good, and I grab this orb, I immediately get a boost to my economy immediately. And then same thing for C. So if you ever don't have like a game plan, just like ask someone to smoke top C and grab this orb, or just try to farm this without anything. See how it goes.
Back up and they'll play in the backside.
Let's see if it goes up again. Here's the A lobby control we talked about. Literally like all the util. Stuff like that comes through.
With the pressure coming in on breaking that dart, there is support
Ooh.
to the side. Meanwhile, trying to gain position on the other extremity.
Doesn't even dash out.
Activated this blade storm, and not finding any contact, are going to start to fall back. And yes, 100 Thieves looking to fight potentially for this orb towards A main on the back of Asuna.
Seems like they're trying to just draw a lot of attention here.
It's instant. Clearing out the site, and Util though still opens it up towards the sewers. So Royal Cells, the entry fragger gets picked off.
The delay though, they can't even get to it.
Oh.
Have one detained, the cavalry's already there for EG to support. And they deny the initial push out from 100 Thieves. As 400 Thieves are still looking to steal back the round.
All right, what's the second?
So I'll say this. I actually talked about this with one of my Killjoy students. And it's a really nice thing to consider. When you go A, you need to make sure both teams are ready to go out. Because what happens a lot, and I'm sure everyone here is familiar with this, is that there's someone here. Or there's someone here. These areas are really strong contention points. They're very difficult to deal with. And if these aren't dealt with before site hits happen, a lot of times these two packs of players that go out are delayed. So like this pack is all the way out here and you see the extra little bit of distance they have to make before they can come out site. And then they also have to deal with that danger. So it's important to make sure both teams are ready to go out.
Yes, 100 Thieves looking to fight potentially for this orb towards A main on the back of.
Here this Killjoy on short definitely became a big rat problem.
Grabbed up Thrash.
So yeah, when you're playing your games, make sure both these packs of players are ready to go out, and this threat has been dealt with. The reason is because this is like, let's just say 3 players and 2 players typically. Instead of it being 5 people fighting site, it becomes 3, or it becomes 2, and it makes it way easier for the people on site to isolate 1v1s.
Eyes coming.
There's all the util for A main we kind of talked about. There's a lobby control. There's the fast flank because we get a lobby control.
Rifles all around. Otherwise,
There's them farming the C orb.
first real big C pressure we have here. We'll see if they get a wingman plant and stay long on this.
Oh, it's instant. But it's a shrouded step trying to get
Oh my gosh, the fact he got out of that is insane.
But he plays behind the smoke. This could be a great position for him. As he paranoias out, slows down the push for 100 Thieves.
That is insane.
Gets stopped
What
right
an
away.
insane play.
Jogimoto fall. Interesting to see that it's
This is something you'll actually typically see when players hit C, is they just play contact. A lot of people just wait and see if this player back here swings. Oh, I'm here already. A lot of people just wait here and see if this player swings. Because as I'm sure we've all been told, and we all do, is people love to jump spot C-Lon. They just love to jump spot this. And if they don't get intel for like a set amount of time, they want to clear this very long corridor and they want to peek out. So it's good when you go C, especially if you're doing more of like a slow hit, to just wait and see if someone comes out. You just make sure they don't have op money before you do that. I'll mention this. So the other comment thread, you'll never see people rotate through mid a lot of the times unless they have a mid lurker. So when these players rotate from C, they rotate through spawn onto A. You will very rarely see people, especially in games, rotate through mid and try to go B or try to go garage if they don't have a mid lurker. This is really important because I see so many teams when they're rotating out of A start to go through mid, and it's just like, why? It's just more risk, and you still have to deal with whatever player's on here. So it's way better when you rotate to go through spawn and then go site. Even though they have like KJ turret here, you'll notice they even prefer to go through A. And we'll see when they go through A to C, because it's a little different.
Don't allow for them to do that. These has been the results that we've been seeing.
That's the other nice thing. This is like an eco rounding more than a haven. But make sure you're stacking sites and you're doing like more gamble plays on your ecos. You'll notice 100 Thieves on their eco, they just 4-man the C orb. Here the EG is 4-manning A site. Just good gamble, even though garage and C are basically free. It's still good to do, because if it works out, it works out. This is pretty much all it is. This is like most of what Haven is, like A lobby control. The only other thing I haven't mentioned is you'll see more Sentinels play map control for the same reason that we want A lobby control. Let's actually like break this down, and I want you to think about what having a player here plus utility here allows us to do. At what point do we have to worry about B and garage? At what point do we have to worry about A? So by doing this, you effectively reduce 5 different lanes to just 1. You no longer need to have a player for each of these lanes. Sova can hold A. The 4 other players can stack towards C and B. And until this Sova gets something, think about how long it takes for someone to actually like go up this space. And go up, let's just say like they go this way, to go up this space. And what Sova can do in the meantime for these players to rotate over. So when you have a lobby control, it also allows for this. When you have Sentinel utility, it stacks this even further. It becomes even stronger. It's really important. I would suggest most Sentinels just play map control.
He's just waiting for the alarm bot to go off before he could activate his dash. And a fall line to allow Joggimo
Ooh,
first, though. And that's a beautiful stun
what a
assist
read.
to allow Joggimo to get the opener into the round, and that's an open A site.
Really great find with the shock dart onto the utility. Follow-up fault line. That was drilled. What a nice start protocol for the A site on pistol.
Damn. So here's something special. And when you see the Sova do these shock darts are really common. These shock darts are really common. People love to spam Util on default. People love to spam shock darts and stuff on default plant spot. They either have lineups or they just bounce it off the walls here. And it's really, really strong because look at that coverage. It's free damage every time. I do this on Sova and you get so many kills. Seems like he does the same thing over here. Just pretend that's what the lineup is. So spamming default is really important, or really good. You'll see that here that they actually just like plant it away. They're just like, nah, we don't even want to deal with it. This is a good enough plant spot. It's a little scuffed, some exposure, long and short. People just avoid default a lot of times, just to avoid that free chip damage that gets given away. Damn. Oh my gosh, the molly to hurt the rotators. Free chip damage.
But that's EG planning a strike for C-Long. Stellar, though, still manages to get a hit somehow through the smoke, through 2 smokes onto BCJ. Crow on the flank, big paranoia for the retake, attempted now by 100 Thieves. Deep into the C site.
Nice, nice. Oh, he falls back on this. That's so cool. Gosh, that's so cool. Let's see their post plant setup. I feel like people on C always mess up their post plant. So let's kind of go over it a little. We can see, so there's usually one person contacting the C, and then like one person, or there's usually one person contacting CT, and then one person just holding garage, awaiting garage. And there's one guy who's kind of like the flex player. So I'll show you a few good post plant spots on C, because I see a lot of players mess this up. One of the spots which you see which is really good is playing on top of this box. This is the C contact player. The other good spot is behind this here, because you can play both angles simultaneously. The other good spot is People like to play back here. I don't really suggest it. This spot is also really good, especially if you're on like Jet. This is like the garage player, and then you can have another teammate like here. So player here, player on top of this box, and then player here. These players can all play off each other pretty simultaneously if they need to. These two guys are the CT players. And then they're like the backup garage players. These two guys are the garage players. So one guy plays like here, and the other one goes here. And then if CT needs it, this guy can also help pretty quickly. But yeah, a really common mistake I see people be is like, oh, my teammates are all playing site, let me go play lawn. Let me go play lawn and hold the bomb from here. I'm just like, why? Why? You have 4 teammates on site and you're choosing not to help them. Make sure you're playing on site with your team. At the end of the day, if you the like perfect middle ground, if to make this as easy as possible, is you play here. You play behind these blocks. And if your teammate or things guild is shit, you can always just go here after. You can always go here after. But doing it at the very beginning is just giving up so much potential immediately. I love it. I'm going over this in Natravan. This is what you call flooding. It's when they take site and before they even tap the bomb, or as soon as they tap the bomb, or they're starting to come out site, you just flood out site. So if this was like 2 seconds 2 seconds earlier, we could see it. But look, these teammates are running out site. They haven't even planted bomb yet, but everyone's just running out. So you hear them tap bomb, and you're just like, all right, send it. Everyone go. Let's go. And you just jump out. So it's really, really common on Haven A. You will see it most commonly on Haven A as opposed to any other map because the Heaven player jumping out is really strong, and then just like coming out coming out spawn is really strong too, because most people aren't ready to fight yet. And then if you also use like a bunch of Util, it's really, really good. So flooding is basically like everyone starts coming out and they're flooding out site before the bomb gets planted down. It's a little like side stage as opposed to like retakes. So if like the team's already there and they haven't even planted bomb yet, it actually can be good to just send it. So there's a few lurk spots you really want to get into. The main priority of lurks is to basically get this audio ring on the map to be able to hear people, to be able to hear rotates. So by getting someone in this corner here, you can see they can hear this player rotating. If you over here, they can hear this player rotating too. The ideal lurk spot is going to be right here in this corner. You'll see a lot of people try to get here and they just listen for rotates. They just listen for any rotates going through. People going to spawn, people going through B. And they're just like, yo, guys, 2B. 2 rotating off B, let's go C. People think of lurk sometimes as like it's to get a kill, but actually lurk's really good just to listen for rotates and get a free sight and maybe get a kill along the way. So best spot to lurk is up here, and then in this corner here is really good. Slayer, how do I get in this corner and set myself up? You stay here and you listen until the people rotate off, and then you just contact it and slow clear everything. You're like, okay, 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 and then you come up here and clear a window. Instead of continuing to push through, you just set yourself up here and you just wait. The other good lurk spot is over here on A short. Actually, you see all this sound that I can actually hear. All these A players who are rotating off, I can be like, guys, 1 left A, 2 left A. They're rotating off B. Come A, come A, come A. I might have A, maybe. There's a few really good lurk spots. It's all about just like getting close enough to hear the rotates. So here, here, and here. There's actually defense lurk spots too that do the same exact thing. This is one of them. If you can get someone in this corner, they can hear all of grass. It can be people rotating off C way earlier than like most people would expect. So this audio ring is a really good thing to use when you're lurking. Also, it's good to keep in mind when you're an attacker and you're like rotating off that maybe you should shift walk back here if you think someone's lurked up. The other good lurk spot for attackers is right here. Right here, hey lobby, all of grass. You can also just hide here, and it's a really good lurk spot. So how do you do this? You smoke window and you go down. The other good lurk spot is, actually this isn't really a lurk spot, but like on top of this box here is really good, and you can hold a lobby from here. So just try to get down short, see if anyone's here. If no one's here, you can just anchor A like this, and it's really, really strong. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all of Haven. There's really not much more complications to it. This type of stacking a utility, you know, reducing it down to one lane on defense is a really strong tactic. And then like if you're playing Garage, it's a little more difficult without Sentinel utility. Same with Beast. That's why you also see like instead of putting a player here, they put utility here. Alrighty everyone, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this map guide. Good luck in Haven next time. Try to apply this to your next Haven game and let us know in the comments how it goes. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and join our Discord for a supportive community dedicated to improving. Have a good one. Bye bye.